Hey everyone, welcome back to both of our channels. I'm Aaron Knightley and this is Justin Wilkins, and today we are going to be talking about if we could go back to 18.
Yeah, I mean, we're both 28 now. I don't know about you, Aaron, but I wish I could go back to 18 with my current knowledge and mindset.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if I could go back, I'd have done many things differently. But today we're going to touch on, I suppose, the most important ways that we could have changed things in order to, I suppose, might have changed things now.
Yeah.
However, they're not regrets. All mistakes were lessons.
Not at all. You know, where we are now is because of the journey we've come from 18. I touched on it in another video. You know, I bought a Mercedes at 19. That's a lesson. I wouldn't do that now, but at the time I did it. Thought I was a baller, you know, so... Yeah. You know, that's just part of the journey, I think, along the way, if you'd agree.
Yeah, and, it is. It's all learning. So, and that's what we're going to touch on. We're just going to start with really what we could change. So I'll kick it off. I'm going to ask Justin, what is something that you would have done different if you could go back to 18?
It would all be around my kind of money mindset. So, you know, right now, if you gave me £5,000 or £10,000, I would have invested it incredibly differently. Back then, I'd have bought something, you know, nice with it. Right now, I'd have saved it and invested it in something, you know, a fixed term asset, or I would have waited, saved, and bought a property with it. I think that's the main thing for anyone that's 18 right now is learn how to utilise your money, particularly with the time that we're in. You're going to have to learn how to save it properly. What about you? Anything that really sticks out?
Yeah, so it's the same kind of lines, but I would have set up standing orders from the get-go.
Yeah,
so turn 18, I would have been paying myself first and not even worrying about it by setting up standing orders. So it would have been very much the payment system that I have now. Yeah. But had I done that from 18, my God, things would have been so much different. You know, if you capitalise from when you have no risk, no overheads, you know, many 18-year-olds are still living at home. Imagine how quick you could compound the amount you could save and invest had you set it up day one. So if I could have had those sort of 2.5 extra years, that's a lot of time. So for me, it would have been standing orders as soon as you turn 18 and you've got an income. That would have been number one for me.
I'd have to agree with that because, I mean, I didn't touch on it before, but I run spreadsheets every month. As sad as it sounds, I really enjoy it. I run a spreadsheet, I get paid, and then I have all of my payments listed out, which I know you do as well. And I've run that for perhaps 2-3 years now. If I'd done that since I was 18, again, I didn't keep any track of my money, but if I had done that when I was 18, things would be so different now. But not looking back as a regret, just saying that's what I would do. And I think I'd take a high-risk approach. You know, I think if I was that age, I'd take high risk. I'd go all in on an investment or all in on a business. You know, do you think you'd have done the same, high risk or low risk?
Yeah, I would have done. And what I would do, although I didn't do it, this is just my kind of take on it, is if you did have a pot of money, or you know, your parents give you a pot of money when you're 18 to go out and do your thing, don't spread it too thinly. Because when you spread a small amount of money, say, across many different things, the return on those small different things aren't a lot. So I would have focused on one thing and committed to it. But before all of that, try and find your passion as soon as you can, because when you find your passion, then make it that you're going to invest in. Again, because from 18 to 20, if you can do that for 2 years and then continue it, if we had done that and we'd have worked out that sooner, you know, we might be somewhere perhaps different than where we are now. You know, we'd be ahead of where we are. So,
and as well as your passion, if you find like it's a bit of a, you know, bit of a generic thing, but if you find a reason why, you know, if you realise early on, rather than, I just want a really nice car or I just want a house, if you actually realise, by the time I'm 30, I'd really like to work for myself. I'd really like to have a comfortable lifestyle with £2,000 passive income or something. You have an actual goal there rather than just, I really want to buy a nice car. I really want to go on these holidays, you know. So find your reason why and kind of reverse engineer what you want out of life as well. If you can get that when you're 18, I mean, it's incredible how far you could go.
Totally agree.
And I don't know what you think, but the people you hang around with, your circle of 5 as such, which we've touched on a bit before, is such a huge part of that. You know, if you've got a group of people that are bad influence on you versus a group of people that are talking business and property and investing. Again,
it just changes your direction.
And
that comes into some one of my other points, which I wish I had done starting from the age of 18, is self-educating. So I wish I had of, again, it falls into what crowd are you hanging around with 18? Are you hanging around the ones that going out every Friday night? You know, we've all done it.
Yeah.
And what do? You waste 70, 80, perhaps £100 on a night out.
Easy.
And it's hard for people to say no, but if you are that one that says no, you've got that £100 and you do that over a month, you've got £400.
Yeah.
And do it early when you've got no overhead, you know, but say no. And that comes into discipline, the commitment side of it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I know it's hard to realise that when you're 18 because you think, I want to go out with my friends, I want to do this, I want to be a part, I don't want to get left out. However, you get to that 21 mark, only a couple of years later, you realise that actually I've got to get on with real life.
Yeah, yeah.
So
why you should just start there in the first place.
It is hard because they don't teach us money at school, so you don't see these avenues when you get into your 20s. But that would be save your money and be really disciplined. But self-education, I wish I'd have started reading more books, listening, going to events, you know, putting myself around people earlier.
100%. Yeah.
Because that's what we do now.
Yeah.
And it can take you to another level. And it's something I wish I'd have done earlier.
It's such a game changer.
Yeah.
And you know, putting another spin on that is social media. Social media, whether you hate it or whether you like it, it's out there. You are using it. Why not use it to your advantage? You know, why not, rather than being a consumer, be a creator? Because if you are a creator, you're putting yourself in a position of making money from social media, rather than just being someone that perhaps consumes all the time and effectively wastes your time on it. So if you can work out a way to, you know, do your passion and, you know, create content around that, I think as an 18-year-old, again, starting now, by the time you're 28, you'll be a master of those platforms.
But you know what is hard as well, and we discussed this off camera, is that we weren't exposed so much to social media. So one thing that, although we didn't have it when we were younger, one thing I would say is don't get caught up. If you're going to use social media as leverage to start a business, have your own life and use that social media purely as your business. Don't get caught up in exposing your entire life, because then you get into this whole comparison, and I think it's quite deadly in
dangerous place.
It is dangerous. So we didn't have the exposure of all social media to, you know, bring on this like anxiety and everything that people have nowadays. You know, the struggles. We didn't have that. So try to stay focused and on your path.
Yeah, and still make sure that you're actually doing what you need to do to earn the income. You know, some people are so focused on creating for social media, they forget to actually do the income generating tasks.
Yeah.
And that's got to take priority, and then you should document yourself doing that. That's what social media should be, not just creating. I see a lot of people doing that a lot.
Yeah.
So.
And one thing, just off the back of that, which kind of ties into my next thing would be, is hold out the job. Don't be so quick to jump off and accept all these avenues that are promoted on YouTube or social media. Hold down and build the side hustle. So I wish I had started side hustles a lot earlier. And there are so many options of quick flips using, you know, you've got drop shipping, you've got Amazon marketing, you've got Gumtree, you've got eBay. There's all these different ways. And I think if I'd have gone back to 18, I would have tried at 18 to do as many things as I could to tick them off at 18, instead of perhaps trying to find out in your 20s, because you're saving your time and your money while you've got less risk. So I'm just pushing on, do as much as you can while you're living at home, if you are living at home, or perhaps you haven't got overheads or, you know, commitments like children and stuff like that. That's the time that I would have really liked to have tried as many things to go, I didn't like that, I didn't like that, I didn't like that. I do love this, and I'm only 19, and now I can plough on from 19 years old and apply everything, you know, to try and achieve that goal early on.
If you're 18, you've got time, you can just try, as you just said there, you just try them, see what you like, see what works. I would go with the ones that cost you less, you know, don't do courses for every single one, learn for free with YouTube, try them out, and then go from there.
Yeah. So one question to you then, because I know we're both, Justin and I, are really big on this, and it plays a huge part of what I do, and I know it plays a huge part for you, but how important, and have you always been really into your health and fitness from a young age? Because that for me is my game changer.
Oh yeah, like 16, 17, I had a bit of a mental switch, and it started off, I just wanted to lift weights and get big and then I realised that's not going to be. I'm not built to be a big muscly person, and that's kind of transition. He thinks so anyway. That's kind of transition from me, like from being wanting to be big and muscly to actually I just want to be healthy, live long.
Yeah.
And now that's such a big part of my day. If you can build that into your day when it suits you, whether that's morning, evening, or lunchtime, whatever it is, just build it in as a habit. Yeah. I know you do that as well as me, and it's been a vital part for our mindsets, I'd say. Yeah.
It is, and it's, for me, I'm only me because of my health and fitness, so I find it almost backwards where people don't look after themselves, because just like a car, you MOT your car.
Yeah.
So why are we not doing that with ourselves? Because it starts with our health. Because if I didn't have my health and you didn't have your health, would we be sitting here right now? Would we be doing this? No. And would we have years and longevity in us? Probably not. So I would say, if you're not already, begin to have a routine of working out, look after yourself, eat clean, have the cheat meal once a week. I do that. I couldn't claim that I don't, but I do eat healthy. I drink a lot of water, and I work out, and it's my creative time in the morning.
Yeah.
And I've always done that from a young age. From 13, 14, I've always worked out, and I've loved it, and it's allowed me to be really focused and disciplined. And it's just structure for me. I don't know if, I'm sure it's the same for you.
Yeah, that's what I do in the morning. It sets me up for the day. I feel like I've already accomplished something by getting out. And also, by doing it in the morning, I'm using my time effectively. Yeah. So I just think that's a very valid point to cover. And as we've hit the 11-minute mark to round up on this and say that for anyone that's watching this 18, I hope you can implement some of these tips. These are things we wish we would have done.
Yeah.
And we want to keep it to a reasonable length. That's why we're cutting off now. But drop us a comment if you've got any questions. We'd really like to hear what you guys are doing to improve. And if you are 18, best of luck to you. The world is your oyster, so they say.
Yeah. Be focused, be disciplined.
Yeah.
You're onto a winner.
100%.
Promise you.
Thanks for watching.
Cheers, guys.